My name is Samuel. I'm in my 30s, and lately my night job is the only thing keeping me on my feet. Not that I'm complaining, but life pushed me into this abyss of shifts and hours. A few months ago, I was an ordinary man, working an office job. Paperwork, spreadsheets, delivery routes that never worked out. It was the kind of thing you do to pay the bills. But suddenly, the bills got bigger than the salary. My daughter, Sophia, was diagnosed with a rare illness, and the treatments were too expensive. That's when I started looking for a night job, something that could help me pay the expenses. That's when I found the ad online. Night security guard. Reliable, calm, discreet. No experience required. The location was a deactivated shopping mall, the Shadows Courtyard, known for being a place where nothing good ever happens. I was desperate, eating a gas station hot dog and with my cracked phone. I clicked the apply button without a second thought. The next day I got a call from a man named Mr. Harrow. He didn't ask many questions, just my name, my driving record, and if I could start on Monday. I accepted on the spot. 2 months have passed since that day. Now every night I drive for 20 minutes out of town to the mall. The place looks abandoned, with a few stores open, a parking lot full of weeds, and only one wing with working lights. During the day, few people visit it. At night, it's just me and the mall. I never had a problem with being alone. Since I was a kid, I was always calmer, preferring books and puzzles. That helped me adapt to this job. I arrive around 10 p.m., clock in with a machine, and enter. The smell of old meat and garbage dominates the air, but I avoid breathing. My office is near the food court, with a monitor that shows grainy images from the security cameras. But my job isn't to sit and watch. My job is to walk. My first stop is always the gun shop on the north end of the mall. The store sells everything from knives to guns. The walls are adorned with fake deer heads, and the wooden floor creaks with every step. Inside, behind the counter, is Jesse. He wears a wide-brimmed hat, a duster coat, and boots that make a sound with every step. His mustache looks like something out of an old movie. His eyes are almost colorless, and he never blinks. He leans against the glass counter as if he's been waiting for something for 100 years. "Good evening, we meet again," he says. "Good evening, Jesse." "You look tired," he says. "I am." "Are you getting used to the darkness?" he asks. "I think so," I say. We have a routine. Every night he calls me a different name. Sheriff, deputy, marshal. Once he called me tracker. I asked him what I was tracking, and he replied, "What aren't you?" I tap my flashlight to stay awake. The guns on the walls look real, but one of them, made of melted bone, scares me. "How's business?" I ask. Jesse shrugs. "Same as always. Haven't had a customer in 30 years. Had a ghoul come in last week, but he just licked the shotgun rack and wandered off." "Sounds familiar," I say. He looks at me with strange eyes. "What brings you here, Samuel?" "I'm doing my rounds." "That's true, but you always start with me," he replies. I look at the painting of a buffalo with red eyes, which seems to change shape. "Do you still want to know how I died?" he asks. "If you're ready to tell me the truth this time," I reply. "I always am. You're the one who doesn't believe," he says. "You're not. Last time you said you were eaten by coyotes. The time before that, you said your wife poisoned your whiskey." "Both are true, technically," he replies. "You don't even remember your real name." "I remember guns," he replies. I lean on the counter. "Why are you here, Jesse? Why are all of you here?" He shrugs. The place doesn't let you go. Some die and keep walking. Others die and forget they died. Me, I stayed because there are still bullets to polish and stories to tell. But you're not dead. Not yet. No, I say. So why are you working this night shift in a mall full of creatures with too many teeth? He asks. I hesitate. I don't usually talk about my life, but Jesse has a way of making me talk. My daughter is in the hospital. She has a rare condition, something genetic. The doctors say it's manageable, but the treatments aren't covered. My day job pays enough, but not enough to cover the costs. This place offered me more money than I thought I would get in one paycheck, so I said yes. I thought I could handle it. The nights are calm. Calm like a loaded rifle on a windowsill, he says. Yeah, something like that. He nods his head. A kid? I didn't know you had one. She's 6. She loves puzzles. She has a blue backpack shaped like a fox that she takes everywhere, I say. What's her name? He asks. Sophia, I say. He repeats the name in a whisper. Sophia. He leans down and comes back with a wooden box. He opens it, and inside are 6 bullets. They glow like moonlight through water. These aren't for people, Jesse says. What are they? I ask. Ghost shells. They're for the kind of things that don't bleed right, he replies. I frown. Ghost shells? You're giving me haunted bullets now? Not haunted, just specialized, he replies. I pick one up. It's cold. Not cold like metal, but cold like a place where no one breathes. Will they work in my gun? I ask. They'll fit, and they'll work. Just don't use them on the wrong thing. They don't stop people. They stop the things that can't be stopped, he says. Why are you giving me this? I ask. He stares at me with his strange eyes. Because you have something worth coming back for. Most people here, they forgot what they were holding on to. That makes them dangerous. But you still remember. That makes you dangerous too, in a different way. I put the bullets in my belt. Thank you. He tips his hat again. You're welcome. Just a little insurance. If you find yourself facing something that doesn't care what you are, you'll be glad to have them. I put the ghost shells in my pouch along with the regular bullets. They make a sound. They are lighter, but not by much. Cold, but not in a way that mattered now. Jesse is not the worst person to deal with. He's strange, but at least he's consistent. Always at the counter, always with a smile on his face, always talking like a man trapped in an old western that only he remembers. He doesn't lie, not exactly. He just forgets which version of the truth he's already told. I don't trust him, but I don't need to. He hasn't tried to hurt me. That puts him ahead of half the things in this place. The gun shop door creaks when I push it open, the same sound as always. My next stop is the ice cream stand. The place is always colder than it should be. I find her crouching behind the ice cream cart. She's not crying or asking for help, just sitting on the floor with her knees bent, her face half hidden in her arms. I wouldn't have noticed her if it weren't for the ice cream cone on the counter. It hasn't melted, which means she hasn't been there for long. I lean over the cart. Hey, I say. She flinches, but doesn't run. She lifts her head slowly. Her face is pale, and her eyes are wide. Why are you hiding? I ask. She winces. I'm scared. I squat next to the cart. Of what? I ask. She doesn't answer. She looks at the escalators. Her fingers twist in the hem of her shirt. There's a scary man in the boiler room. I study her. You saw him? She shakes her head. I don't want to talk about it. I don't push. It's okay. We stay like that for a minute, Me squatting next to the cart, her curled up, both of us looking at the hallway. Finally, I turn around and sit with my back to the cart. You know, if there's a scary man in the boiler room, I better go take care of it. She looks at me again. Aren't you scared? Of course I am, I say. Then why are you going? I'm going because I have ghost shells, I say. She gives me a confused look. Yeah, I don't know about the ghost shells either, but I do have secret powers. She frowns. Like what? I can scoop the perfect ice cream ball blindfolded. That's not a power. It is in this mall. Do you want to see? She hesitates, then nods. I get up and go behind the counter. The scoop is already in the bucket, waiting, as if it knew I would need it. The mint chocolate chip ice cream container is cold, but not frozen. I scoop a ball of ice cream and hand it to her in a cone. She takes the cone with both hands and licks it before it starts to drip. Is it perfect? I ask. She smiles. Pretty good. Pretty good? I ask her again. She nods her head again.
I lean on the cart and watch her eat. More slowly now, more relaxed. She's no longer hugging herself. She's no longer shaking. Sometimes she's talkative, and sometimes she's quiet, like today. When she's quiet, I don't pressure her. Lily has been here longer than me, and the only thing I know is that she never talks about her family or how she got stuck in this place. I stopped asking a long time ago. I know she died here. I saw the incident report one night when I was looking for old files in the office. She's been sitting behind this cart ever since, never leaving the second floor. Talking to her is part of my routine. In my opinion, someone should.
Every night I ask how she is, and most nights she answers with a shrug or a smile. I don't think she knows how much I watch over her. I always go through this floor twice, not once. I always pass the fountain, even if I don't hear anything, even if she's not there. Because some things in this place are dangerous, even for the dead. The boiler room is past the loading docks, behind a door with the sign, Maintenance, Authorized Personnel Only. The paint on the sign is faded, but the letters are still clear. You would miss it if you weren't looking. Before I open the boiler room door, I check the salt line. It's straight on the doorstep, like a white rope, new every 2 nights. There's a bag of coarse salt in the closet down the hall, one of the only things in this job that came with written instructions. Keep the salt line intact. Replace it every other shift. Don't sweep it with your foot. Use the edge of a clipboard or your hand. I kneel to check. It's still solid. I run my finger on the back of the door step to feel for gaps. There are none. Good. I unlock the door and push it open.
The heat hits first. It's not unbearable, but it's close. It smells of metal, old bricks, and something I've never been able to name. The room is long with high ceilings and the network of pipes that extend in all directions. The boiler in the center breathes slowly and deeply. The pilot light a red glow behind the grates. The room is always quiet. The machines hum, but the noise doesn't spread. He's here tonight. He always is. I don't see him right away, but he waits. I walk the usual path, 3 steps, turn right, past the water tanks, keep left around the large ventilation pipe. The floor is stained with dark marks that I've never been able to clean. They don't smell and don't disappear. I stop worrying about them. And then, there he is, Mr. Longneck. His head appears behind a rusty pillar near the wall. Only the upper half of his face at first, wide eyes, smooth gray skin like wax. He smiles when he sees me, the same smile as always. Lips curved a little too much, teeth too clean. I don't talk anymore when I enter. I used to. In my first week, I greeted him like anyone else. Hi, hello. He never answered. I kept talking for a while just to fill the space. Jokes, short sentences, even questions. He never said anything. He just watched. The second time I saw him, I thought he was in front of the pillar. I took a few steps closer, and the rest of his body didn't follow. Just his head, moving slowly, turning the corner, his neck appeared first. Thin, long, stretching like a hose around the concrete pillar. Too long. No visible end. It kept curving behind the boiler, his body never revealing itself. And it still hasn't. I stopped trying to understand after that. Now I enter, do what I have to do, and leave. Tonight, he moves a little when I get close to the boiler. His neck twitches like a cat, adjusting its posture. I don't stop, I just keep walking. The clipboard in my hand has a checklist: temperature, pressure, valves. I mark all of them without looking directly at him. He watches the whole time. The other dead avoid this room. They never come here. Even the things that aren't ghosts, those that crawl or move through walls, avoid this place. He is not one of them. I don't know what he is. I've asked before, no one tells me. All I know is that he stays in the boiler room, and it's my job to make sure he stays here.
I move to the gauges. Everything is within the normal range. The pressure is stable. The dials change now and then, but nothing jumps. That happened once. A sharp spike, a burst of heat, the sound of something scraping inside the tank. I was alone that night. I stayed 2 feet from the exit the whole time. Tonight is calm. I checked the seals on the main line. No leaks. Mr. Longneck hasn't blinked. I don't think he has eyelids. His smile doesn't move, but I feel like he's happy I showed up. Maybe he likes the visits. Or maybe he's just waiting for me to forget the salt. I tighten the last valve and step away, clipboard under my arm. I nod in his direction once, not out of politeness, but because I want him to see that I'm not scared. It's not exactly true, but it's part of the routine. I go back the way I came, retracing my steps. I don't look back. I never do. When I get to the door, I step over the salt line carefully and close the door. It closes with a heavy click. The salt is still there, white, clean, intact. I sprinkle a thin layer of salt over the line again, just to be sure. I've never seen him cross the line. I have no plans to find out if he can. There's one more round to make before the night is over. The back rooms. That one is always strange. The back rooms are not on any map I've seen. They are not part of the regular mall layout, not even the old floor plans that the maintenance guy left in a box near the elevator. There are no doors labeled back rooms, no signs, but they are there, hidden behind locked access points, storage closets, and sometimes behind walls that shouldn't open. The one I use is near the service corridor behind the furniture store. You press the palm of your hand against a blank metal panel and wait 6 seconds. Then the wall unlocks with a soft click and opens like a heavy freezer door.
Inside, everything smells of dust and soap. The lights hum overhead, but they stay on. The floor is the same beige tile you see in the employee-only sections, except that some tiles don't match. Too clean, too new, as if they were replaced by someone who didn't care about the pattern. The corridors curl up, they branch out. You can get lost if you don't pay attention, but I learned the way to Ben. He's not far. 4 turns, 3rd door on the left. No number on the door, no label, just an old brass doorknob that sticks when it's humid. I always knock once before entering. I bring him coffee tonight, as I always do. Red ceramic mug, black coffee, no sugar. He never asks for anything fancy. He doesn't even drink it most of the time. He just holds it as if it means something. He's already in the room when I enter, sitting on the floor, leaning against the wall, legs stretched out. The same uniform every time. Gray shirt, black cargo pants, a laminated badge clipped to his front pocket. The name has been erased from the badge, but I know what it says. Bennett, Night Security. I brought you something, I say, holding out the mug. He doesn't move at first, just looks at me with a slow blink. His hair is thinning on top, cut short on the sides. His eyes are dark and always a little tired. I take a few steps and squat next to him. He finally reaches out, wraps both hands around the mug, and holds it close to his chest. He doesn't drink. He rarely does. The first time I met Ben, he didn't speak for a whole week. I thought he couldn't. His mouth would open a little, but no words would come out. Just gestures, nods, blinks. He sometimes paced, moved chairs from one side of the room to the other, and then back again. It took 3 weeks until I found out his name. Now he talks in short bursts, with a low voice, like someone waking up from a long nap. He forgets things easily, but not coffee, never coffee. "Are you okay?" I ask. He shakes his head, still looking at the mug. "It's hot," he says. "Yes, fresh," I say. He seems to like that. A small smile pulls the corner of his mouth. The room where he stays is nothing special. Plain walls, no windows, a folding chair in the corner, a supply cart with broken wheels, a corkboard without pins. No clocks. No exits other than the one I entered. Ben is trapped here just like the others, but he's different. He used to be like me. He walked these corridors, did the rounds, checked the gates, clocked in and out. Then something happened. No one tells me what. The records are incomplete. Most of them are classified or completely missing. But I heard enough from Jesse and hints from Lily to know that Ben had an encounter in the boiler room. I saw the way he twitches when I mention it. His eyes dart to the walls, his shoulders tense. He doesn't say what happened. He's sensitive. He doesn't like surprises. If you approach too fast, he grabs your arm. If you ask too many questions, he shuts down. And if you try to leave without saying goodbye, he locks the door behind you. I learned that lesson early. It took me 20 minutes to calm him down the first time. He only opened the door after I slid the mug under the table and promised to bring another one the next night. Coffee calms him. He says it's the only thing he really remembers about being alive. The smell, the warmth of the mug in his hands, the routine, as if it were proof that something real still exists. I sit on the floor in front of him. We don't talk for a while. We just sit there, as always. "Do you want me to stay?" I ask. He shakes his head slowly. Rounds. "Yes," I say. I get up, stretch, and move to the door. I don't rush. You don't rush with Ben. I turn the doorknob slowly, open the door, and go back to the beige corridor.
The back rooms are quiet. They usually are. I keep walking until I get to the access door again. The metal panel is cool under my hand. I press the palm of my hand and wait. After 6 seconds, the lock releases with a click. The door opens slowly, heavy on its hinges. I step out into the corridor and close it behind me. It seals tightly. I run a finger down the seam, checking for any openings. It's still solid. I keep the red mug with me. Ben never finishes his coffee. He just holds it until it cools, then puts it near the wall as if he's saving it for later. I always pick it up on my way out. I clean it in the break room sink, make a new cup the next night. Sometimes he calls me by a name that isn't mine. Once he asked me if I still park behind the shoe store. That store has been closed for a decade. I think he remembers parts of his life like old photos, flashes of routine, things that mattered once. But I can work with that. You make your way through this place however you can. Some people hold on to hate. Others forget everything. Ben is holding a mug of black coffee, as if it's the only thing that keeps him from falling completely. And maybe it is. The sun is low behind the trees when I leave through the side entrance. Pale light touches the asphalt. The parking lot is almost empty. Only a few cars are parked near the south wing where the shoe store opens early. At the main entrance, a woman is standing alone. She wears a gray coat, zipped to the top, and dark jeans tucked into boots. Her hair is tied back. She keeps her eyes on the glass, as if she's trying to see something inside. I keep walking. I pass the trash cans and go to my car before I stop. My keys are in my hand. I turn them once, then put them back in my pocket.
I walk back to the front entrance. She doesn't notice me until I'm a few feet away. Her face is calm, but her jaw is tight. She doesn't step back, doesn't shift her weight. She just looks at my badge. "I'm not trying to go in. I know it's early," she says. "It's okay. It's mostly closed anyway. Just a few shops open during the day," I say. "I figured," she says. She looks at the glass doors. One of the bulbs on the mall sign is burned out. The mall's name is missing a letter. "I used to come here all the time with my daughter," she says. I don't say anything. I let her continue. "We had a routine, Friday afternoons. She would get ice cream upstairs. The same flavor every time," she adds. She smiles a little, then looks down at her hands. "Do you work nights?" she asks. I nod. "Security." "Long hours?" she asks. "Yes," I say. I meet her eyes. She has the same look that Lily gets when she's thinking about something she doesn't want to say yet. "My daughter is 6. She's in the hospital right now," I say. The woman nods once. "I'm sorry." "It's manageable, just expensive," I say. She puts her hands in her coat pockets. Her nails are short and unpainted. There's a small tear in the fabric near her wrist. "She died here. It was an accident. She was 9. I haven't been back in years. I didn't even mean to stop. I was just driving by," she says. I nod. "Fridays used to be our thing. We would get ice cream at the cart near the fountain." "Mint chocolate chip," I say. She smiles. Yes, that's right. She used to say it tasted like brushing your teeth, but fun." I smile back. She widens her eyes. "How did you know it was mint?" "Lucky guess," I say. We stand there for a while. A mall employee parks in the lot and walks past us without looking up. The woman follows him with her eyes, then turns back to the doors. Neither of us says anything for a minute. Then she looks at me. "I hope your daughter gets better." "Thank you," I say. She takes a small step back, looking at the parking lot. "I have to go. I didn't mean to take up your time." "You didn't," I say. She pulls her coat tighter. "Thanks for talking." "Yes, anytime," I say. She starts walking. Her boots make small sounds on the pavement. When she gets to her car, she opens the door, looks back once, and gives a small wave. I wave back. She gets in and leaves. The car is clean, but it has a crack in the corner of the windshield. I watch her for a while, the glass doors reflecting the morning sky behind me. The lights in the entrance hum again. Inside, the floor cleaning machine hums near the food court. Then I turn to my car and go home. The check arrives in the mail on a Thursday, a simple white envelope, no logo, just my name and address. I open it over the sink, standing with my coat still on and the front door half closed behind me. It's more than I expected. That night, I call the hospital. I pay every last bill, room costs, tests, medication. I read the numbers slowly, just to hear the woman on the other end say, "Paid in full." I sleep better that night than I have in months. The next day, I drive to the hospital and sit with my daughter, Sophia. She is eating cereal from a paper cup and watching cartoons without sound. She holds my hand the whole time. She doesn't ask me anything. She just smiles as if she knows something has changed. I could have quit my job after that, but I don't. The mall is still the same, still quiet, still strange in all the familiar ways. Jesse greets me as usual, polishing a revolver and arguing with no one in particular. Lily offers me a cone. Ben shakes his head when I hand him the coffee, holding the mug with both hands as if it's the only thing that keeps him anchored. The salt line is intact. I make a new one anyway. I see the woman sometimes. She stands outside near the doors at opening time. She never enters. We don't say much. We just nod.
Sometimes she waves. I keep clocking in long after the bills are paid. There's no reason to stay, not really. The bills are paid, my daughter's getting better. I have no more debts, except sleep. I stay for a few reasons. Part of it is the silence and the routine. Part of it is knowing that things in this place still need to be watched. But mostly, I stay because I have a feeling that there are more stories waiting. Not all of them are good, not all of them are easy, but they are here, in the corridors, in the rooms that no one else visits. And until someone is ready to take my place, I will continue to collect them. One day, when a rookie shows up, a fresh uniform, a clean clipboard, I will sit him down and tell him everything he needs to know, which doors to avoid, who to talk to, who not to talk to, and I will have some stories ready for him just in case. The ghost shells are still in my pouch. I check them sometimes. I roll one between my fingers, making sure they haven't cracked or crumbled. They haven't. They feel the same as the day Jesse gave them to me. Cold, solid, just a little lighter than the others. I keep them separate from the standard bullets, labeled and lined up. I haven't had to use them. Most nights go by without problems. Whatever this place is, it has its own rhythm, its own rules. The things that roam stay where they should, and the ones who linger don't cross their lines. Still, I carry them. I learned that it's better to be prepared. In this job, you don't always get a warning, and when something really appears, it won't ask if you're ready. So the shells stay close. A pocket next to my pen light and my notebook. A small weight that I don't mind carrying. If I need them, they will be there, and I will know exactly what they are for.
The routine was a comfort, a shield against horror. But that night, the shield shattered. The darkness on the monitor was the prelude. The silence, the absence of echoes, was a silent scream that told me something was wrong. I ran to the boiler room, but the door was open. The salt was scattered on the floor, a white line of protection now broken. Mr. Longneck's smile floated in my mind, his absence more terrifying than his presence. He had broken the rule, and I was in his way. I ran to Ben's room, the door open. The coffee mug was on the floor, upside down. The smell of cold coffee and mold filled the air. Ben, the guard who never forgot his coffee, had been broken. My heart pounded in my chest. The gun shop was my last hope. Jesse was there, standing in the middle of the room, his hands hanging at his sides. His smile was gone, replaced by an expression of pure terror. "What happened, Jesse?" I asked, my voice a whisper. "They came for you. They want your face," he said, his voice lifeless. My hand went to my pouch, my fingers feeling the cold of the ghost shells. "You can't fight them. They are not like us. They are your own demons." I didn't hear him. I ran to the main exit. The door that was always locked was open, revealing the darkness of the night. There in the front of the entrance was the woman, but she wasn't alone. She was surrounded by faceless figures, creatures with sharp teeth and holes instead of eyes. They surrounded me, looking at me with their empty faces. I looked at her. The woman approached me, and I saw the horror in her eyes. She was crying, but she couldn't do anything. "We just want you to help us. We want your face," she said. I shot. The ghost shells shone, turning the creatures into ashes, but they kept coming, more and more. The woman grabbed me, her hands holding me tightly. "Don't worry, we'll help you remember. We'll show you what you lost," she said. I looked at my hand and saw a hole. I looked at my reflection in the window and saw a hole in my face. I was no longer Samuel. I was one of them. They took me to the gun shop, where I became part of the collection.